Hello everybody and welcome back to the garden. Hope everyone is fine. As you can see, I'm in the greenhouse again. I had a plan to make a video about sowing some spring stuff, but then I realized I have no space at all in the greenhouse. So I came up with the idea for a new project. Fingers crossed, it's not gonna take too long. I need to install some floating shelf in the greenhouse. We'll see how it's gonna go. That might be one of the videos that never make it to YouTube if I mess it up completely. But let me show you what I have in mind. So that's the state of the greenhouse at the moment. As you can see, there's pots and seedlings and tubs everywhere. The plants are growing as well, all the garlic and lettuce. So there's not an inch to spare. So my idea is to hang a shelf somewhere here on that side of the greenhouse. That half of the greenhouse always grows the sweet peppers, so they are not too tall. So hopefully the shelf can stay a bit longer if I need it for anything else. The only problem is, how am I gonna hang it? There's nothing really to attach the shelf to it. I might use that rail as a bit of a gap between the glass and the support. And maybe one of those braces. There's quite a few of them every half a meter or so. Let me think about it and I'll see what I can do. So I was thinking of suspending a decking board from the roof of the greenhouse somehow, but then I thought it's quite heavy piece of wood and I found this thing. It's a top of the plastic shelving unit. That's the stuff I was drying my onion on after the harvest. I think it's gonna be quite sturdy enough. It already has all the holes and stuff that I can attach some wires to. But now let me try to sort out the hanging method. Wish me luck. Okay, so we have our wires tied to the frame. I just need to attach the shelf. Well, that almost seems too easy. Give me a sec. Well, if that tray gonna fit, then we are in business. Made to measure. There you go, all my cuttings and seedlings for the moment, neatly stacked. Let me show you how it looks like. So that's how it looks like now. I think it's a whooping success. If it's gonna stay, fingers crossed. But we have our onion seedlings that's gonna need potting on very soon. We have all our sweet pea pots. Can't see any growth yet, but that's very early, only about a week. Looks like most of the lavender cuttings have taken. I can see some fresh growth on most of them, and I think all of the thyme cuttings taken as well. As you can see, there's a nice fresh growth on all of them, and I can see roots sticking out from most of the pots. So that's a very successful and satisfying evening. So I get tiny bit of space now on the floor. That's good because the lettuces are spreading as well, so I need more space around them. I can't be keeping all these pots over there. I think I have 2 more shelves like that, so I can probably extend it a bit more that way. I can probably make 1 more shelf fitting here, which gonna be perfect. And then hopefully tomorrow I can do some sewing. Well, it's gonna be tomorrow for me, but for you it's gonna be only a few seconds. See you in a bit. So here we are again. It's the next day for me, but it's only a few seconds for you, hopefully. I hope you enjoyed the building of the shelving. Let me show you how it looks like after installing the second one. So here we are, 2 shelves hanging. They survived the night, so fingers crossed they are strong enough. I might need to level them a bit, especially the second one. I ran out of the light yesterday, but today we're gonna do some sewing. I was planning to do that yesterday, but I've noticed there's no space in the greenhouse, so now after all the hard work yesterday I can do my sewing. I'm gonna do brassicas today, some cauliflowers, white and red cabbage, broccoli, stuff like that. It's slightly early still, it's still February, but there's nothing to lose. I have plenty of seeds, so I can always repeat the sewing later on if nothing gonna work out from those ones, but I think it's gonna be alright. I'm gonna put them in a greenhouse to protect them from the worst of the cold, so they should be alright. They might take slightly longer to germinate, but I think they'll be alright. So let me show you how I'm gonna sow my brassica plants. So first of all, I'm gonna need some soil, and there is nothing better than a big molehill. So I'm gonna use soil kindly dug up by a friendly mole. I'm joking, of course. I don't want the mole here, but there's not much I can do, so I might as well use what I'm getting. Okay, so that's my setup. It couldn't really be simpler. I'm gonna use those seed trays. I'm using the ones without draining holes, so I need to be a bit more careful with watering, but that should be alright. I've got my labels and I've got my seeds. I remember about the labels, especially sowing brassica plants, because they all look the same. All the seeds look very similar, and the seedlings are very similar as well. So it's very easy to confuse what you have. So, like with all my sowing, I'm using normal garden soil, nothing fancy. I just picked it up from the molehill. A bit of stones here, but that's alright. So I'm just gonna fill up the trays, not all the way to the top. let's leave a gap, because after spreading the seeds I'm gonna cover them with the thin layer of soil, so we don't need the soil all the way to the top of the tray. I don't need that many brassica plants, they take quite a lot of space and my garden is not that big. So let's have a look. What do we have? Cauliflower and broccoli. Red cabbage with the purple sprouting broccoli, and summer cabbage I'm gonna need a bit more. So I'm just gonna sow them in a straight line, so after they germinate I know what's what. So red cabbage, white cabbage, broccoli, purple sprouting and cauliflower. There's not that much left here really. I've been using this seed since 2021, so fingers crossed they are still viable. Sprinkle. If I get 10 to 15 cabbages, I'm gonna be happy. Purple sprouting broccoli. As I said, all the seeds look almost identical. Purple sprouting broccoli is quite a big plant and it's gonna stay in the ground all summer long and give me harvest next spring, so I'm probably gonna plant maybe 4 to 6 plants. Red cabbages, same like the other one. A couple of heads. Now we have some broccoli. I might be too optimistic with the seeds so early in the year, but there's nothing to lose really. It's plenty of time to resow if nothing comes from them. And it would be nice to get some early crop. And this is the cauliflowers. And now I'm just gonna cover it slightly with soil, not too much, maybe half a centimeter or less. They are not very big seeds. And gently tap it down so all the seeds are with a good contact with the soil. And that's it really. I'm not gonna water it, the soil is quite damp as you can see. They're all gonna go on my brand new greenhouse shelf, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they're gonna germinate within a week or two. So here they are. We have our tray of white cabbages, cauliflower, broccoli, red cabbage and purple sprouting. I think they're gonna be alright here. Actually, I might go and bring the cloches to cover the trays to trap the moisture. That's probably gonna help. Let me do that. Okay, I think that's much better. So that's our seed trays with the cloches on. Hopefully within a week or two they're gonna germinate. If not, I'm gonna resow them in a 2-3 week time, probably middle of March like I did last year. So yeah, fingers crossed, it's all gonna work and we're gonna get some nice early crop, at least from the white cabbages and cauliflowers. I think that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching me struggle with my floating shelves, but I think it was a nice success and much easier to do than I expected. Hopefully the brassica seedlings gonna work out. And I'll see you back in the garden very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.